Hey, what's up my friends? Nick Aweber here and welcome to today's video. We're going to be talking about how to get more Instagram story views. And in addition to that, I'm going to be sharing with you a little secret on why you might be having a complete strangers and even verified profiles checking out your stories and how this is actually going to help you. So stick around all the way to the end. What's up guys, Nick Aweber here, and again we are in lovely Scottsdale, Arizona here, Old Town area. I thought it would be kind of fun to come out at night, do a night shoot. This isn't going to be the same as the vlog style stuff, but I wanted to mix it up and change things around. I'm going to be sharing with you 3 specific things that you can do to increase your story views on this video. Okay, so if you're interested in that, make sure and stick around all the way to the end of this video, and if you're not subscribed yet, make sure and do so right now so you'll never miss another video on this channel. And if you do enjoy this content, we really would enjoy and be appreciative if you would share this with some friends. We'd love to get the message out more and more. You know, we keep on getting messages and comments saying how great the quality is, and we're definitely putting a lot of effort and time into this, so we really appreciate if you could just share the message and get this out to as many people as needed that could definitely be using this type of information in terms of social media marketing, digital marketing, making sales online, all that kind of good stuff. Okay, so if that's your stuff, share this stuff. If you like it, share it. If you enjoy this stuff, just make sure and show us down below, give some comments, and really just helps us understand if you're liking this content and if we should continue to make more of this style or go another direction. So it really helps us out. So with all of that said, let's get into the content. First strategy in terms of getting more views on your Instagram stories is coming down to your content. Now, to give you a little bit of a reference point and understand this a little bit more on some firm examples, I can remember my top 3, I think it was close up to around like 3,000 story views on my particular profile, and I remember them very specifically. The first one was, it was a before and after picture of when I went through a 90-day transformation from, I gained like 15 pounds of muscle or something like that, and it was a pretty dramatic transformation because I was kind of white and hairy on one side, and then I was jacked, shaved, and kind of flexing too. So I made it fun, but like it definitely was a big transformation. The second one was a check from VaynerMedia, and then the third one was my sister and I on the beach. She was in her bikini and I was in just some short shorts, and we were doing that little Dougie video. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but there's some video and we were just laughing, having a good time. And those were the top 3 stories that, in terms of views, that I had on my particular profile. How does that relate to you guys, and how can this actually help you in terms of getting more story views? Think about it. All 3 of those were attention grabbing. The first one was a very fast transformation. It was a very clear transformation and just popped. The before picture was me white, hairy, looked a little upset maybe. And then the second one was like me smiling, flexing, tan, jacked, shaved. Like, it just really caught the attention. What can that tell us? Is that you need to create content that is really gonna grab attention. Think about all the stuff that you're flipping through and then you see a story and you're like, damn, that grabs my attention. And you want to start emulating that type of content, and you want to relate it to whatever it is that you have to offer. Okay, whether that's just your message, your products, your services, whatever it is. And same thing with the next one. A check from Gary Vaynerchuk is attention grabbing. And then the third one is, you know, on the beach, tan, doing some dance moves, we were laughing, having fun. So it's attention grabbing. So you always have to think about that, is that how can I grab people's attention? Because on Instagram, it's an attention grabbing frenzy. Everyone's looking to grab people's attention, so it's getting harder and harder, but you always got to think outside the box and saying, hey, how can I grab the most attention? What can I do to grab people's attention? And you always have to just be thinking about that. So it ultimately comes down to content every single time. number 2, use the features. Instagram is always coming out with new features, whether that is a poll or the little slider where you can say how much fire is this picture, how much fire is this video. They even have like join chat now, and they have questions, yes or no. Or the big key to this one is you want to just in general be using these features on a consistent basis. But even further, you want to use it at the beginning of this story. So essentially, if let's say you post like 5 times a day to your story, okay, and you start at like 10 a.m. and then you do like one at 10 a.m. and I'm just saying like example purposes and just to give you some context here. Say you do one at 10 a.m., you do one at noon, you do one at 2 p.m., you do one at 6 p.m., you do one at 8 p.m. I think that was 5. The one that you absolutely must do is the very first one. Okay, you have to use a slider or questions. You want to do it on the very first one because that's going to get people engaging more in your story. And when more people are engaging in your stories, that tells Instagram being like, oh, this must be a good piece of quality content. People are engaging with this, so let's start showing it to more people. That's just the general concept of the Instagram algorithm and social media algorithm as a whole. When people are engaging more on a particular piece of content, Instagram deems that as quality content and they want to start showing that to more and more people. Always use the features, but if you're going to be doing a succession of stories throughout the day, always make sure you do it on the first one, because that's going to lead as a little like a trickle down effect, a domino effect, when you are putting it on the very first one. Obviously, the more you do it, the more views you're going to get. You also don't want to drown out your audience. You want to keep a good balance. First one of the day, the first one where you're really starting to put a chain reaction of stories, that's the one that you want to be using the features. And what I can also recommend is always be using the up-to-date features. Everyone wants to be on the up and now, the cutting edge. Always use the newest features. I think the newest one right now is the chat feature. So always be using the new stuff. Always be on the cutting edge. Always update your app so you can know and you can be on point with the newest features. So that is technique number 2. Technique number 3, make it aesthetic. Content's great. You want to have stuff that's really attention grabbing. But I tell you what, the thing that really makes my stuff pop and my students pop is when they really start editing their content. Now, you don't have to go to a crazy extent and edit every single thing, but I would recommend that you start adding some filters here and there. Start every once in a while, get into Lightroom and edit one of your stories and then post it. Because the reality is that everyone else is using the same exact type of content in terms of just taking their phone and just filming some stuff. So what do? How do we separate ourselves? How do we grab more attention? You have to separate yourself from the mass. When everyone else is doing something, you want to do something just a tiny bit different so that it just pops out a little bit more. Now, this kind of goes hand in hand with just putting up quality content that it's really just going to grab people's attention. But it's just little things, it's little subtleties that you just change the filter, you go black and white a couple times and you just mix it up, throw some wording on it. That's another really big thing. A lot of people, what's happening is they're just scrolling through their stories, scrolling. They might be watching all your stories, but they don't even know what the heck was going on in it. If you can kind of put essentially subtitles on your video, on your pictures, they can just be like, boom, oh, stop, okay. This, okay, I got the idea. Boom, next one. So always be using some more aesthetics. And when I said using the subtitles, so to speak, use a background on those, okay? Because that also makes it pop a little bit more. Yes, you could just put the wording in there, but sometimes that can get drowned out by your actual content. So make sure and put a background on your title. So those are the 3 things that you want to do. 1, put up quality content that is really going to be attention grabbing. 2, use the features, especially the up-to-date features, and use them on your very first story of your succession throughout the day. And 3rd, aesthetics, okay? Use filters, get on Lightroom every once in a while and really upgrade how your content looks. And then also use subtitles to really share with people what your story is about. Our ADD minds are just worse than ever, so you really have to help people understand what your content is, not just post your content. Okay, so those are the 3 things. Now let's get into this one other quick little thing that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. You might have been noticing that a lot of verified profiles or just strangers are seeing your stories. I get that question all the time. Why are all these people watching my stories? There's people that are verified. There's big business owners, big entrepreneurs, celebrities even that are watching my stories. What the heck is going on? Are they really watching my stories? And you might have even noticed that your story views have gone up. Maybe you went from 200 to 300 or 200 to 400, but it has gone up. Now the reason for this is because there is a new software out there that is called a mass story viewer, okay? And essentially what this does is a lot of different people are using it. In fact, I am using it right now as well, just full disclosure, and I'll share a quick little story with you here in a second. But basically, they are using software that's going out there and acting on their behalf and watching a ton of people's stories. So what will happen, all of a sudden people notice other people are watching their stories, just like you probably noticed. And then they click on that profile and they're like, oh, who is this person? And they check out their profile and there's a potential for them to become a follower and a fan. I didn't think it would work. I really didn't. But the first time I used it, I got ridiculous results. I started getting more followers. I started getting more story views. I started getting just more people viewing my profile. So it does work. Now, if you are interested in that, send me a DM or leave a comment down below. We can talk more about it. But that's not really what the point of this is. Okay, the point of this is to tell you how important it is to engage on the Instagram platform. And really this pertains to any type of social media. Go out there and engage in other profiles, because what's happening, again, the software is just acting on the behalf of this profile. But you can do that stuff manually, or you could just go hire someone to do it for you. You can do that kind of stuff, but basically what I'm telling you is that that works. That methodology works. It gets people back to your profile. So you can do the same thing manually, where you can go out there and you can view other people's stories. You can go follow them. You can go like their stuff. You can go comment on their stuff. You can reply to their stories. Again, you can do that manually. You can hire someone. You can use a software, but just know the concept does work. Now, it's not going to get you 10,000 followers overnight or 1 million followers in a year, but it is going to help you get more traction to your profile. And every little bit helps. So if you can just keep on going out there and engaging in other people's profile, eventually, if you keep on using the stuff that I shared on this video and a lot of my other videos about creating quality content, you're gonna eventually keep on getting a little bit more momentum, every single day. And it's those small movements, those small increments that lead to big change over time, okay? So I really want to help you understand the whole concept of social media is out there. You're out there to be on social media, to be social and to put media up, okay? It's social media. Don't just put media up, but be social on the platform. That's what's truly gonna help you. Again, it's not gonna be overnight where you're gonna get 10,000 followers, but it's going to help out, okay? So keep at it. It's a consistent grind. You gotta keep doing it. Eventually you're gonna get to a point where like you have a really large following, you're able to sell your products and services, really share your message, and it's a beautiful thing, okay? So thank you for watching this video, guys. I appreciate your time. Hopefully you enjoyed this little different scene here, and yeah, thanks for viewing this video. Make sure and subscribe to the channel. Make sure and share this with some friends. We're really trying to, you know, elevate our stuff here and really get this message out to more people, because it seems like a lot of people are enjoying this stuff, okay? So share this with some friends. Appreciate you guys, and we will see you on the next video.
Looks like we've come to the end of the road. There's no point in running away now. I'd rather sleep until the storm is gone. She'd rather be shooting at me now. I know it will end up in anger. I don't